So Rosario Dawson has been pretty much confirmed by a leak by Disney Plus themselves that she will be playing Ahsoka Tano in the second season of The Mandalorian. Now, sitting down and actually speaking about this and going more into detail, this is not going to be a facecam video. This is just me sitting down and just breaking it down and just speaking about it because I don't really feel like doing a facecam video. This is pretty much it. Either way, going into the video, for the whole second season, there is going to be about 8 episodes, and I think 6 of them are directed by Jon Favreau. So there's 2 episodes that aren't directed by him, and one of them is directed by Dave Filoni. Now, speaking on this, I believe in this episode, Ahsoka Tano will actually be introduced in this episode because it is obviously Dave Filoni. He is pretty much the whole reason why she is a great character and what she is today. Like, it's legit just because of Dave Filoni and him working on the Clone Wars. From what I'm aware, this is fairly new news, but when this video does come out, which honestly this video could come out in a week's time from when this is being recorded on the 5th, just because of how the lack of motivation I have around editing is. It's just recently, it's just not been feeling good, and then I'm kind of waiting until The Mandalorian actually does drop to go back into the full swing of things, just because there is no new content. Going on and speaking about more so Ahsoka Tano again, honestly, I'm very excited. I think this is going to be a great thing because, again, I've mentioned it before, we don't know when technically in the timeline it does take place. We know it's 5 years after Rebels, and we also know what the reason I mean by we don't know what it is. We don't know if this is 5 years set after the actual prologue or the actual ending of Rebels after that 5-year jump. We don't know which one takes place first. I'm assuming it would be the Rebels one, and then after a few months, maybe they're in The Mandalorian. That is only my guess. And then obviously she does show up, well, not really show up, but she is mentioned, and technically she is in live action in The Rise of Skywalker, even though she only said maybe like a word or two. She didn't say too much, but she still is technically in live action, if you get me. Now, as to what could actually happen in the second season with Ahsoka Tano being there, honestly, I don't really know, and I don't want to speculate way too much because I'm going to get too excited, and then if I get too excited and it doesn't happen, I'll be very upset in the fact that it didn't happen, but just pretty much I'm going to do it anyway. So either way, Ahsoka Tano showing up I think is great, considering Dave Filoni. If Dave Filoni does this in episode 5 or 6, I think it's episode 5, it will be great because it's Dave Filoni, the person who actually made her the great character that she is. If it's someone like, take for instance Kathleen Kennedy, and she does everything relating to Ahsoka Tano from the future on, or just for the whole future, honestly, I wouldn't be very excited. I wouldn't be even hopeful for the character because I don't think she's able to actually just make a good character. That's just my opinion. Now, considering we've Dave Filoni, he pretty much made Darth Maul, or Maul, one of the best characters in Star Wars, and in speaking of that, he also made Ahsoka Tano one of the best. You have Obi-Wan and Anakin, who got way more depth, and obviously you can say that is because of George Lucas himself. But in saying that, Dave Filoni, he pretty much did sit down and do most of the episodes, I think. So it is more so pretty much George Lucas made the characters, but Dave Filoni actually built them up to what they are today. He also technically did this for the Rebels characters as well, but in saying the Rebels characters, I'm not the biggest fan of Rebels. I think it's an alright TV show. I don't think it's anything too special. Honestly, there's a few characters that are like massive standouts. Take for instance Caleb. He was one of the best characters pretty much in Star Wars. He's probably in some people's top 5 Jedi. For me, he's probably not in the top 5, maybe top 10, 15. I would assume top 10 anyway, but I know there's a lot of people who actually do love him, and fair enough. There's also Ezra Bridger, which obviously he's got his own thing going on where he's in the unknown regions. We might have a Rebel sequel, Ahsoka Tano. All of this could be a Rebel sequel, like pilot, for all we know in this episode. But again, everyone is saying Ahsoka will train the child. I think that could be a possibility. Will it be likely? Maybe. I don't want to say yes or no because either way, I just want to sit down and actually just watch it and see how they're going to actually do it, how Dave Filoni actually intends for this to happen. Now, I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I don't really think there is a need to. I will do more videos in the future speaking on Ahsoka, so if you did go on to enjoy the video and you want to see more, do consider leaving a like, subscribing as well, obviously just subscribing for more Star Wars content. When The Mandalorian does drop in like 3 or 4 weeks, I will be pretty much doing daily videos again, and I'm very excited for that because as of right now it is pretty much doing lore videos and doing Mandalorian theories, news, breakdowns, everything. I'm just trying to get enjoyment out of the content I make. I don't want to sit down and just do strictly lore and then for that lore to be kind of just forcing it upon myself, when in general I do look at the lore. I just don't want to go out of my way and force myself to do something that obviously in the future it will hurt, because after, let's take for instance, a year or two and I keep forcing myself to do that, I'll be burned out. I won't want to make content for a long time, and then that sucks. So even if it is one video every 2 weeks, it is something I'm trying to improve on and something I'm not trying to force. So again, I just apologize for all of that. You might have to bear with me until The Mandalorian comes out. But with that being said, I will end off the video here. So hope you have a great day, and may the Force be with you.